Battle analyst Threx had watched the recording 9 times before he called his superior officer because the first 8 times he was certain his sensor array had malfunctioned. It hadn't. The footage was from the surrender of Outpost Gen 7, a Voss collective listening station overrun during the human counteroffensive. Standard procedure after any battle: medical triage, prisoner processing, casualty counts. Threx had pulled the feed expecting exactly that. Instead, he found a human field medic, no rank insignia visible, blood-soaked to the elbows, kneeling over a wounded Voss soldier, an enemy soldier, one who 3 hours earlier had been shooting at her unit. She was performing surgery on him, in the mud, under continued sporadic fire. "Pause it," Threx told his console. Though the console wasn't the one who needed convincing, he was talking to himself. "Enhance the audio." The translated feed crackled to life. Another human, presumably her commanding officer, was shouting something at her. "Cole, he's not ours. Leave him, we've got 3 of our own bleeding out." "I know, I heard you the first time." The medic, Cole, didn't look up from her work, hands steady despite the chaos around her. "I'm not leaving him to die in the mud because of a uniform. Get me pressure on this line. I need another set of hands, not an argument." Threx replayed it 4 more times. The Voss soldier's file, when he pulled it, was unremarkable. A low-ranking scout, nothing tactically significant, nothing that would justify risking a human medic's life or divided attention during active combat. There was no strategic reason for what he was watching. That was what disturbed him most. "She saved him," Threx reported to Fleet Commander Asa 2 days later. "The Voss soldier survived. He is currently a prisoner in human custody, receiving the same medical care as their own wounded." "Why does this concern you, analyst? Prisoners are frequently kept alive for interrogation value." "That's the part I cannot reconcile, Commander. She didn't know his rank, didn't know if he had intelligence value. She made the decision to save him in the first 4 seconds of finding him before any of that could have factored in." Threx pulled up the footage again, freezing on Cole's face, focused, exhausted, utterly unbothered by the fact she was surrounded by active hostiles. "I've reviewed 40 years of Voss combat medical doctrine, Commander. We do not do this. No species cataloged in the collective's threat assessments does this. Triage exists to preserve our own fighting strength. Expending resources, time, medicine, risk on an enemy combatant is not merely unusual. It is, by every metric we use, irrational." "Perhaps she is unusual even among humans." "That was my assumption. I pulled 17 more incidents from the same conflict." Threx displayed the results. A human pilot who ejected rather than crash his damaged fighter into a Voss troop transport carrying wounded, even though the transport was a legitimate target and his own command authorized the strike. A human negotiator who returned to a burning building to carry out an injured Voss diplomat during an embassy fire, despite an active ceasefire violation happening around them. A human quartermaster who diverted medical supplies to a captured Voss field hospital during a supply shortage, and when questioned by his own superiors said, Threx checked the translation. He said, "They stopped shooting. That's the job done. The rest of this isn't war anymore, it's just people bleeding."